Hey, I'm just curious. I gotta ask you guys. Can you guys hear the music? Oh, Muju Gaming. You know what? That's a very good point. You're talking about Chrome. I can actually talk about that. So, just some basics on Chrome, man. So let's pretend we have a cylinder here, like this. Okay. And really, when it comes down to it, I know this sounds weird, but all cars and most objects, like man-made objects and things, are either a cylinder or a cube most of the time, if you break it down into super simple shapes. Okay, good. Thanks, T-Rex. Appreciate it, man. So I know that this looks like it's more squared off and stuff, but still, most cars, if you look at the side of them, they bow out like this, right? They have some type of curvature. And so what you have is you have the ground line that comes out here like this. And what happens is that ground line goes way out in the distance, and you see it reflect on the car right here. So this would be the reflection. So this would be the ground plane. So basically what that is that's a mirror. It's mirroring the land on the other side. And then from there, what that does is usually the horizon is the darkest point, is the darkest part on the chrome. And then as it gets closer to you, I mean, it depends on your environment, but for the most part, if you want to just render chrome and make it look like chrome right off the bat without having to figure out the atmosphere or the surroundings, you make it come towards you, and as actually it comes towards you, it gets a little bit lighter. Thanks for the follow, Spark Ninja. And what you do is you just you go from dark to light. And so basically what that's representing is that as the ground gets closer to you this way, it's reflecting more light here, whereas the horizon is not reflecting all that light now. And then from the top of the sky, you're almost going to duplicate that same formula.
All right.
I could go into more depth on this, but I'm trying to keep it brief and so that you kind of understand it, just to get it real quick. Hi Trini, you must have followed me a second ago. Hey Jegark, how you doing, man? Thanks for the follow. Yes, Muju Gaming, you could add buildings and all that stuff. I typically don't. I mean, you could add, you could get some stuff that peaks up here and there. Usually, unless you're doing like a photoreal rendering, you don't want to get like it to look just like a building, because then you want your object that's chrome to stand out versus what the reflection is. So it's just about indication. And then,
All right.
so let's see, I got another follow here. Thanks, Kakuni. Appreciate the follow, man. So then on the sky, you're doing the same thing. You're actually darkening, and you go from dark to light. Now this won't be quite as dark as your horizon line. So this is the basic formula that I'm following right now while I'm rendering these cylindrical objects and stuff. And then even with my horizon line dancing through the car here. Same principle as this. Then on the side, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can make it totally dark. You can run a horizon line back up it, like sideways, but usually you change the horizon line on the side. Just so you can, and what that does is it's differentiating the two planes is what it's doing. I mean, you can do things like this to where you go from dark to light on the side. But usually you want your horizon line to run different than your horizon line on the side. I know that's not scientifically accurate, but when you're designing objects and stuff like that, you want it to read well. And you can read this better than if you ran the horizon line straight this way and matched it with that. Hope that makes a little sense. Oh no, I don't mind getting sidetracked. I'm pretty much. I'm gonna probably call it done here real soon. I've rendered the crud out of this thing now, so. Hey, thanks for the follow, Leo. I think that's who that was.
All right.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Sam Gamer. And then when you're like working on these cars and stuff, you just basically look at the contrast. You see the dark and light areas and try to alternate that accordingly. Sometimes when you render, you don't actually want to render what you see in a photo or an actual scene. But when you're designing objects, you want to, like I said, differentiate your surfaces. So like if a modeler, like if a 3D modeler picked it up, they'd say, oh, I know how to do that, Now some artists might disagree with what I'm saying, but there's more than one way to skin a cat, I guess you could say.
All right.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Check Venus. All right, let's see here. I think.
All right.
Thanks for the follow, Speedy. I can read that name easily. All right, guys. What do you think?
All right.
Thanks for the follow, Bianchini. I usually do my fading horizontally. Is there a reason to do it diagonally?
All right.
Oh, thanks, T-Rex. You gotta. I guess what the determination is, you need to figure out: are you showing the object, or are you going more for a stylized rendering? Because both, like, neither one is right, neither one is wrong. It's kind of a stylistic approach. I mean, you could run your horizon up like this, but basically what would cause that is that the ground is tilted, and it would still look right.
All right.
It's not wrong. Hey, thanks for the follow, Lil Blade. Hey, thanks, Crazy Horse. So it all depends on your own interpretation. I think why I say to do it like this, because it's easy for people to understand and grasp how to render Chrome. If I drew it like this, I think in your head you'd be like, well, why did he draw it like that? And I could explain it, but I think this is easier to understand, You get it. And whereas like, hey, thanks for the follow, yes. Because when you're drawing cars and you're showing off their reflections and stuff, you don't want to do reflections that are going to take away from the car, because you want your surfaces to read first before the reflection does. Thanks for the follow, the Fox. So you want your reflections to complement your surface, not fight with it or be the thing you look at. You want your surface to be the #1 read, and your reflections to basically accentuate that, to enhance your surface. So like if you do this, it's not wrong, but you want to make sure that it doesn't look weird on the car itself, So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. I'm gonna put a small wing up here, by the way. Let's Let's do there we go. Kind of funky. My back right wheel, this wheel here, it says, for example, I'm making a round object, that is. Okay, if I'm making a round object. For example, your back wheel, I do the same for the background effect. I'm not sure I know what you're saying there. I mean, with a with a tire, you're not going to get like a hard reflection on it or anything like that. Basically, how I rendered that was this piece here would be like light reflecting up from the ground. So, you know, that happens in real life. Hey, thanks for the follow, Mig. Now, it's a little stylized, I will say that. It's not exactly how it would work. But if it's on a lighter surface, it's going to reflect the light back up into the wheel. And then from there, you're just going to get kind of a cast shadow, and it's going to fade up into the light. And that has to do with being a matte surface. Hey, thanks for the follow, Emil, I think I saw. The wheel we can't really see because it's behind the car. I do diagonal strokes. Oh, this here? Yeah, again, that's just stylized. That's just to kind of push it towards the back. Yeah, it's just shading. There's no... I'm not really trying to explain a surface there. I'm just pushing that stuff in the back. In fact, I'll do it to this one too. And what I'm trying to do there is like you want to like I don't really want to detail this wheel here because I don't need to. You get what the wheel looks like on this side, you know? You don't have to render every single one of the objects. In fact, a lot of times I leave my back wheel. I don't even do that. It's kind of an art trick called vignetting, where you try to focus most of your detail here and let everything fade out. So, yes, Trini. Okay. You do horizontal strokes for cylinders that are laying down. Like the one he drew. Well, I think I know what you're saying. I mean, oh, as far as the strokes are concerned, is that what you're saying? The strokes, like either I draw this way, or I draw it straight up and down, or sideways. Is that what you're asking me?
All right.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Melker. It adds a round effect. Ah, I see what you're saying, Trini. Yeah, I would say that's kind of true. I mean, you could lean on that. It does create a little more interest when you go in a different direction than the same way as this, because then you have all these lines going in the same direction. But I mean, just to prove the point. So, I guess what that ends up doing is it makes you probably get more of a fade this way. But No, I would say it doesn't matter. I think, again, it goes to a stylistic approach. It kind of goes on what you want to do. I mean, I could see an artist make this look bad. They can make that look bad, or they can make that look good and that look good. You know, it all kind of depends. Hope that answers a little bit. Yeah, you know, really, Trini, I would say it just comes down to a stylistic approach. I don't think either one of those rules is fine. I don't think you're gonna mess anything up doing it either way. Mr. Splooshy, thanks for the follow. So, I hope that answers a little bit. Did that help a little bit, Muji? Main thing is you get the fading right. Yep. That's true, Trini. It's all about the fading. I mean, that's what you need to get right. Because if you don't do the fading, then it won't look like chrome. Yeah, and again, I know I said this earlier, but if you weren't here, on my YouTube channel,